Hey, what the hell is going on, everybody? Today is Monday, July 20th. I hope you had a good weekend. My name is Ryan. I'm a CPA. I don't look like it right now because it's casual day. But anyways, today's Monday. I'm here to talk about the unemployment benefits that may be ending very soon. That's got millions of people very, very nervous. But first, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be keeping you guys up to date frequently with what's going on. And also, do smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below what you think of this video or what questions you might have, and I'll be sure to try to answer them as best as possible. All right? So back in early March and April, the government passed extended unemployment programs to help more people in various ways. All right, so I'm gonna go through some of these programs with you and what I think will be happening to the FPUC, the one where you get paid an additional $600 a week. First, we have the PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. This program was created to allow self-employed individuals and business owners to apply for unemployment. Because as you know, before then, you can only apply if you had like a W-2 job. But in this pandemic, it's really necessary to include more of the people, especially self-employed folks. All right, so this program helps those people and it's in place until the end of the year, until the end of 2020. All right, so that's what the PUA is. And then you have the FPUC, which is the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program. This program extends unemployment, your regular unemployment, by 13 weeks after you run out of your unemployment time period. So this allows you to take up to 39 weeks of unemployment. And this program ends at the end of the year as well. Okay, so very important program, both of these two. All right, so the last program that was implemented is called the FPUC, Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation. This program adds an additional $600 per week on top of your state's unemployment payment for each qualified unemployed person. Now this is huge because regular unemployment, sometimes you don't get that much. I mean, most of the time you don't get that much money, you know? So an extra $600 a week is pretty significant for many, many people, okay? I mean, it gives them the ability to stay unemployed and maybe not worry so much about how they're gonna pay for rent, how they're gonna pay for food. This is, in my opinion, a much better program than a freaking $1,200 stimulus check, one-time stimulus check. This program has been a major help for millions and millions of people, okay? This program is set to expire July 25th, end of this week, which is coming up real soon. And that's why millions of people are really, really nervous about what they're gonna do once this expires. I mean, if you think about it, it's a huge cliff. $600 a week, that's about $2,400 a month down to nothing, down to your regular state's unemployment, which could be a few $100s a week only, okay? So that's gonna be a huge cliff. That's gonna set people back a lot. And so what I'm hoping and what I'm thinking that is gonna happen is that it will be extended or at least reinstated sometime in August. And here's why I think that. First of all, cases are rising like crazy. Many states are seeing record-breaking numbers of cases, okay? So as cases are rising, their businesses are gonna have to shut down again, either through mandate or people are just not gonna wanna freaking go anywhere because there's so many people infected, right? So with that being the case, the economy in those counties, those states are gonna slow down again. They're gonna contract. People are gonna just not spend money and stay home. They might not even have a job because of so many people staying home and not spending money, or because of government mandated shutdowns. With those things in play, if these benefits are not extended, the economy will absolutely tank, all right? And not that it hasn't already. I mean, if you're paying attention to the stock market alone, you wouldn't think it's tanking. You think the economy is doing pretty good. But the truth is, the economy has tanked, and if they don't extend these benefits, it will be catastrophic. It's gonna be a disaster. That's why I'm thinking now with the rising cases and the situation that a lot of states are being put in right now, that they have to extend this or reinstate this program in some capacity. Now what I think is they might put some stipulations on it. Like they might have like a I read a proposal from somebody in Congress where there's a phasing out of the compensation based on your state's unemployment rates. I mean, that can be put into play, or there could just be some kind of like graded payment to individuals who need it. I don't know how they're going to qualify that, but there might be some stipulations here, and it might not be just a straight cutoff, you know, on a certain day. There might be some phasing out of this program over time. But what I know is it's going to be much needed, okay? Because we're in a country where money is like God. Everybody values money so much, and that's understandable. It's a capitalistic society. So money is king here, and since it's mostly capitalistic, a lot of people are basically on their own. So when something like this happens, when something like a pandemic happens, if people are on their own, you're kind of screwed. So this is where government, I think, needs to step in and help their citizens. Because right now we're in a life or death situation for many people, and they should not have to choose between having to go to work to make money and risking their lives and risking the lives of their family members, or staying home to spend time with their family, to keep themselves safe, but also not make any money and suffer that way. This is not the time to make those kinds of life or death decisions, all right? Right now, we're in a forest fire. If you listen to Michael Osterholm, if you're listening to media, I would just get off the media, check out Michael Osterholm's podcast, the Osterholm Update, and he basically categorizes the US right now as a forest fire, like an out of control forest fire. And so we got to take extreme measures to get the pandemic levels down. And in order to do that, that would require a lot of distancing, like a ton of distancing. And from that, people are going to lose their jobs, etc. But if they're compensated to do that, then things will be much better than if they weren't. Okay? This will give people the actual choice to stay home or to work. But if people don't want to work, then they should have the option to, and not be forced to work. That's why I think this program is going to be extended. I think there's a greater chance of it being extended or re-implemented than it not. Also, if you know anything about what happened in the previous recession, the Great Recession, is that states need a lot of assistance, and the states that did get assistance bounced back much quicker than states that did not. Okay? And so in a time where people are spending less, making less money in the states, in the counties that they live in, that means the states and the cities are making less revenue, and that means they have less money for social assistance programs. And so especially unemployment even. So now is the time where states should get some assistance, and the people living in those states should also get assistance and the choice to work if they want. That's all I got for that. I'm going to answer some questions from my previous videos that have been asked commonly, and hopefully this should help some people clarify some things. And these questions are usually related to the PPP loan or the EIDL loan. All right, so here we go. All right. BioFox asks, if I have an LLC and the business address is my house, can I use the SBA loan to pay my mortgage? No, you cannot use the SBA loan to pay your mortgage. Your SBA loan is for business expenses only, and your mortgage is definitely a personal expense, so you cannot do that. Jesse L says, you're bumming me out, man. Well, I'm sorry. That's usually what I do, because I'm a CPA, you know. All right, and then this person asks, hi, can you tell me when can I apply for the PPP forgiveness? And you usually want to wait until after your covered period is over, and you would apply at your bank that you got your PPP loan from. All right, so that's all I got for today. Thanks so much for joining me, and be sure to leave me a comment below and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and then smash that like button. All right, take care.